Welcome to Super Wild Card Weekend, presented by Verizon. The champions of the AFC South, the Houston Texans, the 4th seed in the AFC, kick off the playoffs by welcoming in the Cleveland Browns to NRG Stadium. First time in 4 years that Houston has had playoff football, and they're ready, led by their explosive offense and their even more explosive rookie. The front runner for AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud, and he's got a tall task ahead. The #1 overall defense on the other side, and Myles Garrett, the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. Glad to have you along for the ride here in Houston. Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, Catherine Tappan, and Terry McCauley. Welcome to the playoffs, everybody. Exciting times around the league. There's storylines, it feels like, with every game, but this one in particular, the age gap between these two quarterbacks is unbelievable. One started his career when Michael Phelps was winning 8 gold medals in Beijing in 2008. The other one was in kindergarten at that time, but C.J. Stroud's no ordinary rookie.
So, in my mind, I know he's a rookie, but when I watch him on film, he doesn't look anything like a rookie. The poise, the movement in the pocket, the decision-making, and the way he's taking care of the football. 23 touchdown passes, only 5 interceptions. He's been very special to watch.
Touchdown-interception ratio led the NFL this year. On the other side, the story with Joe Flacco is remarkable, but he's playing some of the best football of his career.
Yeah, unbelievable. He turns 39 next week. He was brought in to be a backup quarterback. Then he became the starter, the 4th starter for the Browns in the season, and all he's done is play great down the stretch. In his 5 starts, including in this building the last time, 368 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Texans.
He lit up this defense, and he's hoping to do it again for his 11th postseason victory. Flacco's 5-0 in wild card games. Defense on one side, offense on the other. Overall team in the wild card to kick us off on NBC. Back in Houston, beautiful day, and inside NRG Stadium, the energy is already building up as we get set to start the NFL playoffs and go down to the 3rd member of our crew, Catherine Tappan.
Well, Noah, last month when the Browns beat the Texans, Houston was without their starting quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and Will Anderson Jr. Well, today it'll be the Browns dealing with their health issues. That is, starting corner Denzel Ward suffered a knee injury in practice on Thursday and is dealing with soreness. There was concern surrounding his availability. He came out during pregame warmups wearing a left knee sleeve. He tested it out and was a full participant with his teammates. More good news, 5-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Amari Cooper will return after missing the last 2 games since injuring his heel. And for the Texans, their sack leader Jonathan Grenard, who also missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury that came against the Browns, returns for the Texans defense. Noah?
Yeah, KT, a matchup, and both teams feeling a lot more whole as they get set for this one. Kevin Stefanski wasn't on the sideline for the wild card game in 2020. The win against Pittsburgh, had COVID for that one. Told us with a sly smile he's excited to be back here tonight. And for D'Amico Ryans, he was on the first team ever to win the division for Houston as a linebacker. Now as a rookie head coach, he said they're equally as special to him. Feels like he's equally a part of this team as well, leading the team to a 10-7 record. Our officials today, Clay Martin is our referee. It is mostly his normal crew, but with the postseason, you do mix and match a little bit. Tab Slaughter, a new one, as the umpire. Clay Martin still the head of the snake of this group and doing a great job. This is a reward for officials across the NFL to actually get these postseason opportunities. Joe Flacco and the Ravens offense will get the football start. Houston won the toss, elected to defer. That means Kaimi Fairbairn will send it away. James Prochet is way back deep, and Fairbairn, who missed the extra point in the 4th quarter last week against Indianapolis, will get another opportunity to kick it to Prochet.
Well, when these teams met on Christmas Eve, the very first play from scrimmage for Cleveland was a long pass from Joe Flacco to Amari Cooper. They would hook up for 11 catches, 265 yards in the game, and that's a big focal point for this Texans defense, staying on top of Amari Cooper today.
Best time of the year. Waited from September until now, and the NFL playoffs are officially here. Prochet will let it sail into the end zone, and we meet the Cleveland offense.
Joe Flacco, Delaware.
Jerome Ford, Cincinnati.
Amari Cooper, Alabama.
Elijah Moore, Ole Miss.
David Bell, Purdue University.
David Njoku, all about the U.
Jaron Christian, Louisville.
Joel Bitonio, Nevada.
Ethan Posick, LSU.
Wyatt Teller, Virginia Tech.
James Hudson III, Cincinnati.
Christian and Hudson, replacements at those two tackles, lost their normal starters early in the season, have been playing without their starting running back Nick Chubb from the second game on, and of course Deshaun Watson out for the season from the midway point.
Down Flacco, and right away one of the interior defensive linemen for the Texans down, but it's pretty amazing. He started 5 games. He sat out last week against Cincinnati, but throwing the ball down the field, 13 touchdowns. He has thrown interceptions. And he is not afraid to put the ball downfield. He has great confidence in Amari Cooper and David Njoku.
NBC's Wild Card Playoff is brought to you by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. Let's go places. By BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Please gamble responsibly. By the Farmer's Dog, a fresh approach to pet food. And by Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. Go back to the 2011 divisional Texans and Ravens. These two go head-to-head. It was Flacco who got the upper hand in that matchup, and DeMeco Ryans kind of gave us a grin and said, yeah, I'm looking for my get-back on Saturday at home. As Singletary picks up a tough 2, and Garrett right there to greet him. Well, C.J. Stroud, you can go through the numbers and you can go through the records. We've got them on your screen, so we make it easy. Led the NFL in pass yards per game and touchdown-to-interception ratio. But it's the way he carries himself in the building that separates him.
And he's been a great leader from day one. He's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder that he's kind of carried for several years. But he's genuine, and his players have rallied around him. And then when you see the playmaking ability, everybody on this team knows they got a dude playing quarterback for him.
Deal or No Deal is back, and it's a whole new deal. More adventure, more twists, and way more money. Deal or No Deal Island premieres February 26th, and don't miss a special preview tonight on NBC.
Cleveland backed up deep. They've got an extra offensive lineman in the game, number 68.
Houston at the 45. Well, this is a Houston organization that rebuilt themselves from the bottom floor. They had to build their rocket before they could take off. 11-38-1 the last 3 seasons, lowest winning percentage in the league. But then you bring in 2 top 3 picks in Stroud and Anderson, who are potentially both offensive and defensive rookie of the year candidates. DeMeco Ryans a first-year head coach, and they're the first team in the Super Bowl era to win their division with a rookie head coach and quarterback.
Well, and the thing about those 3 guys, they are all accustomed to great success, right? DeMeco with the 49ers, Will Anderson from Alabama, CJ from Ohio State. Losing is not acceptable, and so they came in with the attitude, we're going to turn this around.
Let's see if this Browns defense can find it once again as Singletary gains a couple down to Catherine.
Well, General Manager Nick Caserio emphasized that culture was important when I asked him about that Texans rebuild after spending 20 seasons with the Patriots. He said you can never recreate a culture, but you can look for certain behavioral patterns and characteristics in players. He saw those qualities in 2nd and 3rd overall picks, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson, who both said they fit in here because they are grown men. They work hard to show these guys they can do it. Noah?
Caserio's done a wonderful job, KT, and DeMeco Ryans a huge part of that as well for the culture he's then set within the team based on the type of people that they've brought in. This look at Joe Flacco is brought to you by Toyota. Well, it feels like he's put a whole new meaning to he's got that dog in him. He might be an old dog, but he's kind of had some new tricks this year. Over 1,600 passing yards in December, most of any month in his career. 4 consecutive games with over 300 yards. Not only the longest streak of his career, also a Cleveland Browns record. He's the 7th oldest quarterback to start a postseason game, but you look at the names of the other guys. Breeze, Brady, Manning, Favre, Rivers, Roethlisberger. That's quarterbacking royalty right there. And you meet with him, you sit down with him, and it just seems like he's loose. He's having a good time. He's enjoying the ride, and he's taking full advantage of his opportunity.
And credit to him for staying ready, staying sharp, keeping his arm in shape in case he would get a workout. He didn't know if he would or not. No team brought him in for a workout all fall until the Browns brought him in mid-November. And Alex Van Pelt, their quarterback coach, told me he was as impressive throwing the football in that workout as any quarterback I've ever watched. And he's throwing receivers he doesn't even know. And they signed him. And next thing you know, he's not only the starting quarterback, but he is leading this team into the playoffs in a major way.
And he really has felt so welcomed by the team. A lot of credit goes to his teammates. He felt like the locker room embraced him with open arms, but also Kevin Stefanski, and he had a lot of great things to say about his head coach, how even-keeled he is, and he doesn't look too forward ahead, which is what has kept this team, despite all the injuries they've had, on schedule, on track, en route to an 11-win season. Super Wildcard Weekend continues tonight as the Dolphins take on the Chiefs at 8 Eastern. The game will stream exclusively on Peacock, not on NBC, so be sure to scan the QR code and sign up now for just $5.99 per month, or for a limited time, get 1 year for only $29.99. Terms apply. Union Station in Kansas City, it is going to be frigid there. -3, real field temperature, -21 degrees. And I'd say Kareem Hunt sweating, feeling good in this Houston heat. Welcome back, Super Wild Card Weekend, presented by Verizon. 10-7 after 1, with Cleveland driving now inside the Texan 30-yard line. The Thursday night before Super Bowl 58, the NFL's brightest stars will be recognized for the best plays and moments from the 2023 season. Tune in to NFL Honors February 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern on CBS and NFL Network. Of course, C.J. Stroud hoping to win AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. These two coaches, Kevin Stefanski, DeMeco Ryans, the two front runners for Coach of the Year as well. This summer, the Olympic Games return live from Paris on NBC and Peacock. Well, a lot has happened since Joe Flacco's last playoff start. Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, Simone Biles have all competed. Chloe Kim, Shaun White winning gold medals in 2018. Then, of course, Katie Ledecky in Tokyo, Nathan Chen, Beijing in 2022. It's been 9 years and 3 days between his last postseason start and today's second longest gap in NFL history. Doug Flutie did it with the Bills in '99. They lost in the wild card to the Dolphins in a hard-fought game. What a season it was for the Cleveland Browns defensively. They led the NFL in yards per game allowed, lowest by any team since the 2014 Legion of Boom Seahawks that made it to the Super Bowl. Only 164.7 passing yards allowed per game, best in the NFL. And at home, they were impenetrable, 13.9 points per game allowed. But away from their castle, so to speak, nearly 30 points per game allowed. That was tied for the worst in the NFL with Denver. So there's a clear dichotomy between the two. And right now, struggling a bit on the road, have already allowed 181 through the air by Stroud and around Mechie.
Ahmed Fareed coming up. Toyota halftime. We'll look ahead to tonight's frigid game in Kansas City. And could there be another surprise head coach opening? Mike Florio with the latest. Noah, back to you.
All right, Ahmed. They're nice and toasty in the studio.
Yeah.
Beautiful temperatures here in Houston. Mike Tirico, Jason Garrett, Kaylee Hartung are going to be nice and chilly tonight in Kansas City. But for now, 2 minutes remaining. C.J. Stroud has 2 timeouts to work with. Cleveland with just 1. And DeMeco Ryans looking to punch it in, get the football to start the second half, and take a commanding feel at home in this wild card matchup. Feeling comfortable right now, up by 2 scores. Super Wild Card Weekend continues tonight as the Dolphins take on the Chiefs at 8 Eastern. The game will stream exclusively on Peacock, not on NBC, so be sure to scan the QR code and sign up now for just $5.99 per month, or for a limited time, get 1 year for only $29.99. Terms apply.
Difference for this Houston defense.
Cleveland will let this go to the half. Houston feeling the energy. H-Town. Loud for the first time in 4 years. They've gotten a chance to see their Texans in playoff action, and they'll get the kickoff in the second half. Houston to receive. Coming up next, Toyota halftime. Here's Ahmed to tell you what's on tap.
Thank you, Noah. What a first half there. Coming up, we got Patrick Mahomes, the defending champs, hosting the Dolphins. Tua making his playoff debut in frigid conditions. We'll look ahead to that one on the Toyota halftime next.
Game day dip in the oven? Just tell Siri. Remind me to check the food in 10 minutes. Tonight's first half replay is presented by Progressive.
And the NFL playoffs are officially here. The energy is already building up. Hunt up the middle. He goes over the top, and he's in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Collins has the corner, and he finds it. Up the gut. Hunt is in. Touchdown, Browns. Pedal to the middle. Touchdown.
Does your coverage need a replay? See if you can save with Progressive.
Welcome back to Super Wild Card Weekend, presented by Verizon. First game of this awesome slate this weekend in the NFL postseason. We take a look at the buzz. 24-14. Houston will get the kick to start the second half. Kareem Hunt, third Browns player ever with a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown in a postseason game. Meanwhile, Brevin Jordan had the explosive 76-yard touchdown, second longest by a tight end in postseason history. The great Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp went 96 with the Ravens, and C.J. Stroud. The superlatives almost aren't enough. 236 passing yards, a rookie postseason record in the first half, and the 3 passing touchdowns already ties the rookie postseason record. He throws one more. He will be all alone at the mountaintop. Joe Flacco will have to watch as the 22-year-old quarterback goes back to operate. Riley Patterson will send it away to Dameon Pierce to start this second half here in Houston.
Now we'll see what kind of answers they have defensively for the Browns.
Get set for the third quarter. We go down to Catherine Tappan.
Well, guys, D'Amico Ryans was absolutely fired up going into the half. He said C.J. Stroud has been outstanding, just awesome. There is no moment too big for him. He said defensively, we have to continue to do our job. Don't give up those big explosive plays, and if we do, we have a huge opportunity to win this game. As for Kevin Stefanski, he told me his group just gave up too many of those big plays. He said this group has been down before in games, and I told the guys just focus on one play at a time. He said, I like our defense with a chance to defend here to start the half, guys.
Yeah, KT, I loved what he said. He said, I wouldn't have wished all the injuries we've had on anybody, but I'm glad in some ways it's happened because it's forced us to improve all around, and we have certainly come over and gotten over a lot of adversity. He feels just being battle-tested coming out of their division as well, a division that has sent 3 teams to the postseason this year, with Pittsburgh getting in as well. So we'll see what this defense can come up with. It's been the backbone of their team all year long. NBC's Wild Card Playoff is brought to you by the new Hyundai Tucson. It's your journey. By Allstate, reminding you that football season is mayhem. By Royal Caribbean, come seek. And by Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Super Bowl 8, 50-year anniversary, Rice Stadium, about 2 miles away here from NRG Stadium. As we get set just inside the 20, Joe Flacco and the Browns offense back to work. Play action again on first down. You're watching Super Wild Card Weekend, presented by Verizon. Well, big game kicks off the playoffs. The commissioner is in the building. Roger Goodell on hand to watch a game that's had a lot of fireworks, had a lot of highlights, and just had an 82-yard interception for a touchdown from Steven Nelson. Super Wild Card Weekend presented by Verizon continues tonight as the Dolphins take on the Chiefs at 8 Eastern. The game will stream exclusively on Peacock, not on NBC, so be sure to scan the QR code and sign up now. Then tomorrow night, Matthew Stafford returns to Detroit as the Rams take on the Lions at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the 35-yard line.
You know, people ask, would this stage be too big for C.J. Stroud? I didn't think so, because the biggest stages he played on as a collegiate player, the Rose Bowl against Utah, without his 2 best receivers, Olave and Garrett Wilson, who opted out. Huge numbers, 573 and 6 touchdowns. Then against the best team in college football a year ago, the Georgia Bulldogs, 348 yards and 4 touchdowns. And if Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't get hurt in that game, Ohio State has a great chance of winning. He has played well in his biggest games on the biggest stages.
And then you say, okay, are you going to perform in the biggest moments? 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And this is as telling as it comes. The only quarterbacks to lead the NFL in passing yards per game and pass touchdown to interception ratio in a single season. Montana, who won the MVP and won the Super Bowl in '89 with one of the greatest offenses ever with San Francisco. And Tom Brady, in a season in '07, he won the MVP. They went perfect up to the Super Bowl before losing the Giants. That's the company he's in. Super Wildcard Weekend continues tonight as the Dolphins take on the Chiefs at 8 Eastern. This game will stream exclusively on Peacock, not on NBC, so be sure to scan the QR code. Sign up now for just $5.99 per month, or for a limited time, get 1 year for only $29.99. Terms apply. Another touchback. This drive will start at the 25 for the Browns. This AFC playoff bracket, this of course being the first game kicked off of Super Wildcard Weekend. Baltimore is waiting to see who they will get. The key now is they have to wait until at least Monday, because Pittsburgh and Buffalo has been moved. Monday, 4:30 Eastern on CBS with inclement weather in Western New York. We'll know at least between this game and the Dolphins and Chiefs who will be moving on, and then the reseeding and reshuffling from there. Coming up after us, exclusively on Peacock, a QB matchup that a lot of people are looking forward to. Patrick Mahomes, Tua Tagovailoa, two of the best in the NFL this past season, both over 4,000 yards. But when you look at Kansas City tonight, it's not going to be easy to throw it. -4 real feel, -23 wind, 13 miles per hour for that 3-6 matchup in the AFC. Meanwhile, C.J. Stroud off on the sideline. Davis Mills is in the game at quarterback. Handoff for Dameon Pierce. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gains a yard. Todd, you know something about playing in the cold weather in Kansas City, don't you?
Yeah, the weather can be kind of extreme there at times. I remember this one very well. Blizzard-like conditions, and I'll tell you one thing, it was a whole lot warmer actually being out there playing than it was standing on the sideline watching.
Sure.
Stephon Page with a big game. The Broncos were already going to playoffs. We were not. But it was a fun game to be a part of. But there weren't very many people there because of that weather.
It was -19 wind chill.
Yeah, it was.
Do you still wake up in a cold sweat some days at like 2:30 in the morning? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
cold.
It was cold.
America's Got Talent is back with a twist. For the first time ever, the judges go head-to-head. Whose dream team will win it all? AGT Fantasy League, Monday on NBC and Peacock. Final moments, these last couple of minutes in Houston. Fans feeling it. There's a lot of bright side right now for these Texan fans. Hasn't been done a whole lot, but teams to win a postseason game with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach 3 times. One of them, Joe Flacco and John Harbaugh in 2008. Of course, that 2009 Jets team also going to the AFC Championship, and Flacco gets crunched. One final kneel down. The Texan train rolls on, and the story of Stroud is just beginning. Houston dominant, 45-14, and they're on to the divisional. Complete culture shift. D'Amico Ryans comes in, and year one, he has made magic for the team that he had so much pride playing for to start his NFL career.
Again, you think about those young building blocks he has. C.J. Stroud, Ohio State. Will Anderson Jr. and Christian Harris, Alabama. Derek Stingley Jr., LSU. All came from highly successful, big-time national programs in college football. And they were saying, why can't we come and do the same thing in the NFL?
And they did it at the highest of levels, 45-14. Let's go down, Catherine, with one of the defensive stars of today's game.
Yes, with Christian Harris. Christian, a sack and a pick 6 for you, the second of the game for you guys. What were you able to read so well with that offense across the field?
I think just coming in, trying to do our job, stay focused. You know, not trying to make this moment much bigger than what it is. Do what we've been doing all year, and I think, you know, the plays just came up and we made opportunities.
Take me through that pick 6 and what you saw specifically.
Just trying to do my job. You know, opportunity presented itself a couple weeks ago. I dropped it, so it was the same situation, just had to make the opportunity.
When you see the performance that your quarterback C.J. Stroud is having on the other side, What exactly does that do for you guys defensively?
I think it instills a lot of confidence in us. He's a God-fearing man as well. So, to see a young guy go out there, keep his composure, it kind of instills faith in everybody else as well. So, that's it.
And finally, so much is made of the culture of this team and how you guys have been able to get to this point in the postseason. What is it that D'Amico Ryans has been doing with this group to let you guys buy into that?
D'Amico's a great coach. He's been helping us every single way possible, in and out. And I think, just keeping our faith, believing. I think us just believing in ourselves, everybody in that locker room, we have everything we need.
All right, Christian, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Noah?
Great stuff, KT. Now we're going to send it back to Ahmed in the studio for Football Night in America, presented by Chevrolet, after the Texans get the big win and move on to the divisional.
Thank you, Noah. Chris Sims, Evan McCourty, Ahmed Fareed. What in the world did we just see right there? Complete domination by the Houston Texans. 45 points, the most points the Browns have given up all year. Not all on the defense there, but what'd you think of it?
Well, I think you got to start with the quarterback, C.J. Stroud, right? One of the greatest rookie seasons we've ever seen from a quarterback ever have continues. Best defense in football. Him shredding them apart today with Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans. Kudos to them for a great game plan.
And I think Christian Harris hit it. Him just being back gave confidence, instilled faith, belief in the whole team. And I thought that defense stepped up. I know Amari Cooper wasn't 100% healthy, but they took him out of the game. They got after Joe Flacco and put that pressure.
Made Flacco throw it too much.
What did I tell you before the game? The interceptions were going to
What he did say, yeah. C.J. Stroud, 157.2 passer rating. Just 1.1 away from being perfect. So almost completely perfect for the rookie quarterback right there. We are also getting set for part 2 of our doubleheader. It's going to be a little chilly.
Just a little bit. There's only ice on the seats. No big deal.
And the negatives. Dolphins-Chiefs exclusively streaming on Peacock. Yeah, that person's cold.
Right.
Use a credit card.
They can't see the game.
Defrost.
They got to get Taylor Swift's view better here. This is going to be trouble.